Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about what annoys Capricorn, and yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing off is, well, the first thing I think which really can annoy Capricorn strongly are just simply people that are not as ambitious or career-oriented as they are. People that are not pragmatic or realistic as they are can irritate them as well. Also, I think people that will try to coax Capricorn to think outside the box, being more futuristic and more innovative may exasperate them as well. Capricorn is often very conservative, conventional, and orthodox. And they often are really strongly connected with the true and the tried. They might not get along too well with ingenious, eclectic, and unorthodox Aquarius, who often can be a maverick. And really, when I look at Capricorn too, another thing that I think strongly can exasperate them and annoy them are really are people that are overly whimsical and don't take things in a serious manner, and especially things that are related to task and work. And you look at Capricorn, it's not like they don't have a whimsical or jocular side, but really their serious side really can strongly dominate them. And really a lot of the difficulty, of course, showing that jocular side and the more whimsical side, a lot of that is connected with Sagittarius often being on the 12th house cusp in a natal chart for Capricorn. Of course, the 12th house is about our limitations, restrictions, and fears. And really, maybe it has something to do with the fact of Capricorn. They feel if they become too lighthearted about things, that things may not get accomplished. If Capricorn is in an authority position, and if they're all smiles, so to speak, maybe they feel that they can't get the subservient, or I should say subordinate workers to really be as compliant and do what they're supposed to do, and they might lose their control or something. But I think too, another thing that can really become really an annoyance for Capricorn are people generally that lack their consistency and reliability. People that can be at least somewhat irresponsible. And what's interesting is that Capricorn is in conjunct Gemini by sign. And really, the Capricorn is a sign that's often strongly about consistency. They can be very single-minded despite not being a fixed sign. Capricorn is really more of a specialist, and they usually concentrate their energies into one kind of field or one kind of, or just a general, whatever it might be, profession, field, interest, that they often will concentrate their energies into that one thing, and generally will not diversify too much. And Gemini being in conjunct by sign, Gemini is a sign, of course, that could be very versatile, multifaceted, and they could also they could dissipate themselves without due to not having a concentrated purpose often. So naturally, if these two are in a relationship, Gemini and Capricorn, adjustments may have to be made. And also, Cap is more about things that are durable, about longevity, and things that last a good period. And Gemini can often lack persistence, and their restlessness sometimes can get the better with them, whether it's in relationships or it's with projects. Now, also too, Capricorn may be seen as overly consistent and monotonous for Gemini, so again the adjustments may have to be made, and those are in the super consistency and what Gemini might see as monotonous can annoy Gemini. Now, another thing that can really what can annoy Capricorn and what they can strongly disdain are others that might be overly sensitive and emotional, and a lot of this, I believe, has to do with the fact that Cancer is the opposite sign of them. Now, Capricorn may come across as cold, callous, and undemonstrative to Cancer, while Cancer can often be overly sensitive, temperamental, and emotional. Cap forces themselves really to be in the mood, I think, to get things done and accomplished. But unfortunately, Cancer's work ethic, the zodiac sign Cancer's work ethic, may often be predicated on the mood that they are in. I had worked one time, is interesting, with this Capricorn boss. I had Sun and Capricorn manager at a retail store I worked with. And Cancer, I think, can see Capricorn, again, going back to the cold and callous thing. There was one moment, I guess you could say, incident there, or experience there that I understood. What I heard about is that apparently there was somebody that had gotten electrocuted, and there was a trucker, somebody came in, or somebody, and he got electrocuted, and he had been laying on the ground. And apparently what the Sun and Capricorn manager did, he just walked over by him and he said to one of the workers, he said, we need to get him out of here, we got work to do, or something to that effect. Now, what I'm describing is, of course, Capricorn can be, in a very negative manifestation. Of course, most Capricorn people are not that cold or callous or what have you. So anyway, another thing is that what Capricorn, I think what can exasperate Capricorn are people that can be immature and have difficulty acting like an adult. I mean, NBA superstar LeBron James, his son is in Capricorn, and he entered the league, I think, at 18 years old, and he took on a lot of really inordinate responsibility for somebody at a young age. And Capricorn people are often old before their time, and they really can show a lot of maturity and discipline at a very young age. And Capricorn is usually not the type that's going to use their age, a young age, as an excuse for them not taking on responsibilities and duties maybe that older people may have, are generally accustomed to having or doing. So anyway, the thing about, another thing too, is going with Capricorn, going back to the single-minded energy. NFL head coach Bill Belichick has a Capricorn moon, and many of you may see him that he's always seems to be a very stern and serious expression on the face. I believe the moon in astrology can often reflect one's expressions on one's faces, and I think Bill Belichick, with a Capricorn moon, is certainly no exception to that. And I think he strikes me as someone that could become annoyed if people aren't taking their position seriously as far as the players that he coaches on that team, because Bill Belichick seems to rarely show any kind of vivacious or whimsical side to him. I'm not saying he's devoid of a sense of humor, but it seems like he's very, really hardly ever emphasizes that. He's very, very stoic, very straight-faced. So anyway, another thing is that you look at this, I think, too, that Capricorn can often become exasperated and annoyed at others that don't share their work ethic and that are overly flighty and fickle. What's interesting, when I look at Capricorn, I think what an interesting thing is that Pisces is compatible with Capricorn by sign, but I could see these two still as having certain differences because of the work element in both these signs. Capricorn can work very laboriously, are often very industrious and hardworking, but Pisces a little bit more of a dreamer. They could be a little bit more lethargic and lackadaisical. They're not about relaxation. Pisces is more of a dreamer, where really Capricorn can be more of the doer. And Pisces can be dominated by fantasy and unreality, while Capricorn can often be consumed by their career interests and ambition. So I think Capricorn can sometimes, could be annoyed, whether it would be a Pisces sun, moon, or ascendant, or somebody that might embody those characteristics can irritate them, I think, very strongly. It just goes to show you that even, signs that are compatible by sign can still have certain discrepancies, and sometimes there needs to be things that might have to be worked out between the two. So anyway, Another thing I think that could strongly annoy Capricorn is simply people that aren't emphasizing planning and premeditation. Um, and really, you look at them because they could be exasperated at people that ask them to do something at the last minute. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people can feel that way, regardless of zodiac sign, be irritated and annoyed at somebody giving them some last minute requests, and they don't have time to really plan it out, how they're going to respond to it. But the thing is, I think especially Capricorn, because they're so strongly about premeditation and planning. And thing about this too is I think also what can annoy Capricorn too strongly is those are those that simply aren't as astute as them in business. You take the late great owner of the New York Yankees, George Steinbrenner. And I mean, some may have seen him as ruthless, even tyrannical, but he got the job done. He was a very shrewd and sagacious business owner. He got the players he needed, and he often maximized he was able, for whatever reason, between him and the coaching, what have you, of the Yankees, or seemed like in most majority of the time, at least, were able to maximize performance of these upper echelon players. And another thing too, what I think can annoy Capricorn are people that can be rather undisciplined. I mean, there's a reason why Leo is really Leo is in conjunct Capricorn by sign, and these two may often not be compatible. Leo is often very extravagant, while Capricorn can be often more disciplined and restricting with as far as their spending habits go. And Leo also is a sign that can often be undisciplined, where Capricorn is pretty much about the exact opposite, being very disciplined. And also, I think people, going back to the discipline thing, and a lot of it has to do, I mean, Capricorn is often very patient, much like Taurus. I think Taurus is still the most patient of the zodiac signs, but perhaps Capricorn may come a quick second to them. And anyway, I mean, you look at Capricorn, I mean, another sign they're not compatible, of course, is Aries. And Aries can be too impulsive and impetuous for Capricorn. Aries is one that may not finish tasks due to impatience, where Capricorn can often methodically stay with them in spite of certain obstacles, because they have consistency and they have discipline. Aries could become very angry easily if something doesn't go their way, say midway through a project, where Capricorn might still stay with it despite perhaps setbacks or obstacles or what have you. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for what annoys Capricorn. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be talking about what annoys Aquarius. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.